Hey, I'm Carl with Abt, and in this video we're going to take a look at two more budget-friendly 4K HDR TVs. One from Sony, the KD49 X720E, and one from Samsung, the UN49 MU7000. They're both 49 inches and have similar features, so starting off we'll take a look at the designs. The bezels are thin on both of them, which means there's really no distractions from the picture, and they both have good pedestals. I will say I like the Sony pedestal better, as it's a little more compact and it'll fit on a smaller table if you're not going to wall mount the set. The Sony also has some cable management built in where the Samsung doesn't, so you will see some cables hanging down if you look, but again, I think both pedestals actually look pretty good. Now, Samsung incorporates their new 360-degree design to this set, so it's a consistent look all the way around, where the Sony is really thin at the top, but it bumps out as you get closer to the bottom near the inputs. Also, the material that Sony uses on the back of this model seems really flimsy. I'm sure they tested it, and I'm sure it's fine, but for this kind of money, I'd expect something a little sturdier feeling, which is what you get with the Samsung. Neither one looks bad, but I prefer the design of the Samsung myself. Inputs are going to be similar in that you get 3 HDMIs that are all HDCP 2.2 and CEC compatible, and one of them acts as an audio return channel on each set. So you get 2 USBs on the Samsung, 3 on the Sony, and they both have Ethernet connections if you don't want to use the built-in Wi-Fi. They both also have shared component and composite inputs for any old components, any old analog components you might still have, and an optical audio output for hooking the TV up to an external sound source like a soundbar or a surround system. The Sony also comes with a headphone output, but the Samsung has Bluetooth built in, so I guess that kind of evens out a little bit. Moving on, we'll take a look at the pictures. Now, this is always a very subjective matter, but honestly, I thought both of these myself looked pretty good for the price. I noticed a little trailing on both when you're watching fast motion, but it wasn't terrible, and with the color processors and contrast enhancers that they use in both of them, you do get a good quality picture for the price. I don't know that I could really say I liked one over the other, as I was pretty happy with both of them. It's important to remember that these aren't the Q series or the XBR series sets, so you can't expect top of the line picture, but I do feel like at this price point, either one of these would be hard to beat. There was a good deal of detail in the dark scenes, and bright content wasn't overly blown out. I didn't think so. You'd really have to see both in person to determine which you liked better. We have both sets on their factory settings for the purpose of this video, and there's really not a whole lot of difference here. As you can see, the Samsung may be a little bit cooler in its picture, but not a great deal. And you do have the option to dial in all of the settings if you choose, but for people who want to take a TV right out of the box and watch it, I think you'd be happy with either one of these. Now, we'll talk briefly about sound because that's really all that sound deserves on both of these. They're both 20-watt systems that are underwhelming, but did you really expect anything different? That's why they give you the HDMI ARC input and the optical output. Again, for someone that just wants a TV that they can take right out of the box and watch, it's fine, but I strongly suggest getting soundbars for either one of these, as they will definitely benefit from a bump in the sound category. Finally, we'll touch on the smart features. Sony has a Linux-based system that looks fairly dated, but it works well. Samsung has their Smart Hub, which I think looks a lot nicer. It's a little more updated than the Sony. They're both easy to navigate, but I found the Samsung to be a little more intuitive. The other sort of smart feature to touch on would be the remotes. I think this will come down to personal preference though. Sony has a more traditional style with the numbers and shortcut buttons, where Samsung is a little more streamlined, and they have a microphone built in for voice interaction, which is cool, but I personally prefer having the buttons on the remote. I just think it's easier to use, but everyone's going to kind of have their own opinion on that part. So to wrap this up, if you're looking for a more budget-friendly 4K HDR set, both of these would be models I would consider. Overall, I personally like the design of the Samsung better. If Sony had used a different material on the back, I might have thought differently, but they don't consult me on that stuff. As far as picture goes, I think you'd be happy with either one. And if you like either of these, you can actually pick them up right here from us at Abt or on Abt.com. Just click on the link in the description below. If you have any questions on either one, make sure you contact our professional sales staff or leave them in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe so you can see videos on all the great products we carry here at Abt.